What's up, Instagram TV, IGTV, and now YouTube as well, or vice versa, I should say, YouTube and now IGTV. That's why I've got the horizontal camera going. Dan Sfera, we got a long podcast today. We're going to cover why now is the best time to be an entry-level clinical research professional. We're going to go in depth on that, maybe 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 minutes. It doesn't matter. When we get through it, this is an important topic we're starting to see. We're in a transition phase right now. So entry-level clinical research professional, this is the ideal time to be that person, if that is who you are. But that's not what this video is for. This video is for all the people, and it's somewhat related to that, for all the people that want to open their own clinics or want to open SMOs. First of all, if you want to open an SMO, nothing wrong with that, but open a clinic first. Okay, and there was no SMO that's built from day one with 30 clinics. It's one by one by one, and then you can maybe start doing them in twos, but I wouldn't do that. I would go one by one every single time to ensure that you're setting up the right foundation for your SMO. But I got a question. We took a bunch of phone calls today from potential clients because I've been on a week-long vacation, but now I'm back, so I'm just playing catch-up. I got a question from someone that wants to open a site. They're in the home health agency business, and they want to open a site, and it's a very good idea. They want to know, like, what's the most challenging aspects of clinical research? Is it finding the doctors? Is it finding the studies? Is it finding the patients? Is it keeping the sponsors happy? And the answer is, it's all of it. Like, it's all challenging. It's all complicated. When barriers of entry to an industry or to a business are as low as they are in clinical research, I mean, you don't need much money. If you go look at my website, The Clinical Trials Guru, there's a tab called Start Your Own Clinic, Get Equipment. It's like $7,000 worth of stuff, maximum. Like, that's not the challenging aspect. The challenging aspect is, how do you find a physician that knows nothing about research, and how do you convince them that being a principal investigator is a good idea? A challenging aspect of this industry is, how do you get a sponsor to want to work with that physician and want to work with you when that physician and you have no experience? Another challenging aspect is, how do you get patients? Once you get those studies, how do you get patients? How do you convince patients? How do you convince physicians? How do you convince other physicians to send you patients? And then how do you convince those patients to remain enrolled in the study? Retention, that's another challenging aspect. Another challenging aspect is how to keep the sponsors happy, how to keep quality control in place at your site, how to make sure you're following good clinical practice and following Alcoa standards. I mean, these are all the complicated things, and you want some bad news? They never go away. Okay, the complicated things never go away. Every protocol is different. Some studies will require specialists to be subcontractors. Other studies will require different things that you're not accustomed to, but if you want to stay in business, you got to learn how to do. So these are the challenging aspects to this business. It's not, how do I find a medical building like this one and then fill it up with equipment and then get licenses. First of all, there's very few licenses you need. If you're in the Site Owner Academy, you'll learn all about it, or if you just watch my videos, or you'll learn all about the certifications you need. Here's a hint, there's not many. Again, that's not the challenging aspect of this industry. So it's all challenging, all of it. And it never gets easier, even for experienced site owners like myself. I've been doing this full-time for 13 years now. It's no easier now than it was maybe 3 years into it. And it was extremely challenging the first 3 years. But after those first 3 years, when the learning curve is kind of over, it's executing everything that you know and just adjusting to market environments and cycles in the industry and changes in the industry with risk-based monitoring, and then going through the cycles of a lot of studies and then low studies, and then based on each indication and doctors leaving, and that never gets easier. Okay, so the learning curve, there is one. It's steep, 2 to 3 years. Then you should be fine with the learning curve. But as far as the business getting easier, it doesn't. You can outsource a lot of things, so you don't have to be the one working in the business. You can work on the business. As an example, I am no longer doing study coordinating stuff. I hire study coordinators. My first 3 years, I was the one doing the study coordinating, and I was working on the business. So I was working in my business, and I was working on the business. Okay, now I'm just working on the business. Occasionally, I dabble with coordinating here and there, like once or twice a month, just to stay current and stay relevant with my skill sets and the changing platforms. But that's not really the challenging aspect. The challenging aspect as a business owner and a site owner is to adjust to all these things, keep doctors happy, keep patients happy, keep sponsors happy, keep your employees happy, and just constantly doing that over and over and over again. Thank you, IGTV. Thank you, YouTube. Stay tuned for the long podcast. I'll post that on YouTube and on your favorite podcast platform. And stay tuned for another short video clip for Instagram and for YouTube as well. Take care.